Hello everyone and welcome to Mobility Academy. I'm the flexibility guy, Coach Elia, and in today's video I want to answer to a really common question, which is how should I place my hips during a side split, during a middle split? A lot of people ask me this. Should I posterior tilt? Should I anterior tilt? Should I open my lower back? Should I close my lower back? What should I do with my hips? So this is exactly what we'll be talking about throughout this video right here. But before we start, let me show you my brand new book, Split Second, which is the complete playbook to learn the splits and drastically improve your flexibility level. So if you want to master the splits and if you also want to improve your lower body flexibility, because as I always say, splits are flexibility. If you master the splits, you'll master your lower body flexibility. Then I strongly suggest you check out this book following the link in the description down below. All right, with that said, let's start. All right, guys, so before we start, let me show you what you need to stretch for a side split, all right? A pair of sliders, because you always want to slide on the floor. If you can't slide, I strongly suggest you buy a pair of sliders, because with these, you can slide with your feet on the floor. And of course, the yoga blocks, because never stretch without the yoga blocks. So guys, this is not a side split tutorial. So I'm not gonna explain to you how to do the side split, how to follow the progression, because I had a side split tutorial on my YouTube channel and you can check it out following the link in the description down below. Here we'll be talking about the hips in a side split. All right, so your hips must be opened. So anterior pelvic tilt, all right, and arching the lower back, because that is the only way your leg is going into abduction. So it's going to go by your side at that height. All right, so when you are in the position, you can also see that from the side. So you place your feet on the sliders, all right, like this. And then with the yoga blocks under your hips, you do want to go into the position. And as soon as you go into the side split, you want to arch your lower back, which means that maybe you are here. Let's assume you want to stop here. This is your flexibility level, all right? So maybe you want to stay here. Now, as you can see, I'm driving my trunk a little bit forward just to create the stretch right here. All right, and since I'm driving my body, my trunk forward, I'm opening my hips, because if I close my hips, as you can see here, I can't go into the stretch, because I can't bring my body in line with my hips opened. So if you keep your hips open, which means that you are arching your lower back, you are in an anterior pelvic tilt, your body will come a little bit forward by nature, okay? So this is okay. I have my body slightly in front of my legs. This is how you wanna do a side split. So you wanna open your hips, which means that if you look at the position from the side, you're not closing your hips, because as you can see, if I can't, I simply can't, because my femurs enter in contact with my hips and they can't do that. So I want to open, so I want to stick my bum out, but I don't want to drive my butt back, because if I do this, as you can see here, I'm gonna fall back. Okay, I want to keep my butt in line with my feet, but there I wanna open my hips, all right? So I wanna stay in the position. My body is slightly in front of my legs. So doesn't matter the depth of the position. So my body is slightly in front of my legs, and I stay in the position, because as you can see here, if I open my hips, I can go down into the split. If I close, I can't do that. I can't, because my femurs, now think about your hips as something like this, okay? There's the hip, which is kind of wrapping the femur, okay? If you open your hips, so you arch your lower back, you stick your bum out, and you drive your body slightly in front of you, the hip allows your femur to move. But if you close, then they're gonna wrap the femur, and the femur can't go into that range. Now, this is true for the majority of people on Earth. All right. So if you are the majority of people on Earth who need to anterior tilt during a side split, you must do that in order to achieve a side split. So if you film a side split from the side, you want to say that your lower back is arched, that your hips are opened, all right, and that your body comes a little bit in front of your legs. That's okay. That's completely okay. All right? Doesn't matter the progression. You want to do that. Of course, you do want to keep your trunk as perpendicular to the floor as possible, because that is the correct technique. You do want to keep your hips in line with your feet, because that is the correct technique. All right? I'm not saying that this isn't true. I'm saying that you gotta arch, you gotta open your hips a bit in order to achieve the side split. Now, some people, the gifted people and the people with a lot of flexibility, can work once they got the side split in anterior pelvic tilt, which means with the arch on the lower back, with the hips opened, they can work from there to posterior tilt, which means straightening the lower back, all right, curving the spine, all right, and closing the hips. But only few people can do that in the world, because you gotta be genetically inclined to do that, all right? The majority of people will achieve the side split with anterior tilt and with the arch in the lower back and with the femurs in line, of course. All right, guys? So make sure as you do your side split position to anterior tilt, to open your lower back, to open your hips, because this is the only way you're gonna spread your legs wide apart, all right, and get into a beautiful side split. Now, guys, I explained that also in my book, where you can find the exact anatomic position of the side split. As you can see here, the muscles and the joints involved in the position and all the explanation of this concept, of course, which I've just given you here in this video. But if you want to kind of further increase your knowledge, I strongly suggest you check out the Split Second, which is the best book to learn the splits. All right, guys? Now, if you find this explanation useful for you, all right, or if you have any other questions or doubts regarding this explanation here, let me know in the comments down below, because I'll be really happy to answer to all your questions and doubts. All right? Also, if you disagree with me, you have something to say, feel free. Let's discuss it. Now, if you enjoy the content, please hit that like button and help me grow this YouTube channel. All right, guys? With that said, that's all from the Flexibility Guy, Coach Elia. Have a nice stretch and see you in the next video. Now you know how to do a side split. It's only a matter of training. You gotta train, because you may know how to do that, but you gotta put in the work. So you know how to do that, but you gotta put in the work, and that's the hard part.